So when it comes to being Vietnamese, there's some times where I have to facepalm myself because in scenario number one, there's so-called Vietnamese people out there that introduce themselves as,
Hey, my name is David Nguyen.
Scenario number two is when the teacher is doing attendance and they're going through the list and it's like, John Smith here, Jane Doe. Okay, hold up. So if I butchered your name wrong, is David Nguyen? Did I say that right? In your head, you're kind of contemplating, do I take 5 minutes out of my life to explain to this white person how do I pronounce my last name properly? Or do I just say yes and be like, to get it over with and be like, yeah, sure, but in your head you're like, this dumb mother. Not gonna lie, I'm guilty of both scenarios when it comes to being Vietnamese, but I'm gonna, like, the purpose of this was that I wanted to show you guys the real legitimate basics of understanding Vietnamese language. You know, you might not have the most correct tone, but if you can understand the basic concepts and foundations of the Vietnamese origins and the alphabet, then you're already one step ahead of a lot of other Vietnamese Americans and Canadians that introduce themselves as Nguyens. To the untrained eye, these are just a bunch of squiggly squiggles that don't mean anything. So the first symbol is called the suck. Well, technically it's Yao Suck. Symbol sharp, right? It's pretty much going like this, right? So you gotta follow it. Suck. It's like when, you know, Kakashi, 1,000 years of pain, Naruto up in the butt. That's the kind of symbol, the tone that you want to go for. Symbol number two is the Yao Huyen, right? It's going down. It's a chill symbol. Goes down. It's pretty much when you haven't, like, pissed in a long time and you held it in for a really long time and you can finally go pee and you get this sign of relief and it's like, The next one is Yao Hoi, symbol that looks like a question mark, right? That's how you remember it. Huh? The next one is the falling symbol. In Vietnamese, it's called Yo. So it's like you're pretty much you're about to fall, but you save your ass just before you're about to fall. You're like, oh, yo, crap! I almost did not eat it. So it's like yo. And the very last one is just a period, and it's just a dot, and it's called yo now, yo now, which literally translates to the heavy symbol. So pretty much imagine you know, lay on the floor and you have this 500-pound beast just sit on top of you and you're like, ugh. That kind of sound. So it's short and very, and now we can actually put some of these to use, right? Now you can see the word Nguyen, right? It has that falling symbol, or AKA the yo nga. So it's Nguyen. Because there is that symbol on top of it. Now you understand it. Or how to say pretty in Vietnamese. It's D-I-E-P. On top of the D, there's a line, which means it's a hard D. No jokes intended. So it's instead of yep, it's dep, right? And since there's a dot underneath, or yao nang, it's dep, right? Dep. It means you're pretty. And you take away that line on the D, it becomes yep, which means slippers. So now you understand the basics, it's probably pho, right? And your basic common Vietnamese last names and the squiggles. One of the keys and how you get the tones and the correct pronunciations behind it is you look at the symbols. That will give you a hint on how it should sound. Like, I know my tone's not being like 100% correct, you know, my dialect is more of like the south than the north and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, I ain't no expert, but I did go through years of Vietnamese, and this is a way to refresh my own memory, because, you know, I'm all about Vietnamese. I'll see y'all in the next one. Doses. Vietnamese food, the probably first thing that comes to your mind is pho.